Right, we went to the council meeting this week. Wow, that was a ripper. My goodness. Northern Beaches Hub. Every council meeting, Greg Williamson, who is our mayor, for those who don't know, he puts a little video up on how successful it was and what wonderful things we discussed. So the Northern Beaches Hub, proudly expounding the great development of the Northern Beaches Hub. We know that hub is the World Economic Forum term for smart cities. It's a smart city if it's a hub. There were actually quite a few comments. I was surprised at how many people are waking up to the smart city, because when you look at that video, there are quite a few comments on, yep, 15-minute cities, here we come. You know, that's why there's no arterial road into Northern Beaches, because they'll be locked out there and can't get in. So all of these developments are simply for the smart cities. I'm going to read now. We asked the mayor and sent it to the councillors, the mayor and the acting CEO, asked them if they are still refusing to admit that we have joined the smart cities and we are a smart city in Mackay. We have it in writing that we're not. So I finally got a response from the mayor. The councillors are not allowed to answer us. It's got to be from the mayor, or it's usually the CEO, but maybe that's changed because it's an acting CEO. This is from Mayor Greg Williamson. Team, nothing has changed since our last correspondence on this conspiracy theory about the 15-minute cities. There is no substance to your claim that the 15-minute city means we will lock people into geographical areas and restrict their movement. We will not enter into further correspondence with you on something that does not exist.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Liar.
Yeah. Louder?
Liar.
Exactly. Our mayor is quite capable of not telling the truth. So it just blows me away. It's not hard to find information on the 15-minute cities. It's all there. We know what they discussed at the C20 Mayors Summit in 2022, and I think I might have to do another reel on this. Our reels are getting thousands of views, and thank you everyone who watches them. People out there who are watching them, it's the way to go. And our heart is to educate people on what is happening and to help get us out of this. So we have the email from Greg Williamson. We also have the fact that he signed up to ICLAI, the International Council for Local and Environmental Initiatives. And if you look into that, you will find what they've got planned. It is to lock us down. It is to make us live, be born, live, socialise, play, study, work, die within 15 minutes of home, and that's a bike ride or a walk. So here we have a screenshot from ICLAI, which is the Global Smart City website, where we actually have the date that Greg Williamson signed Mackay onto that program. It's all there, everyone. It's all there. Okay, let's move on to the second point, was community consultation about the divisional councils. You know, having a councillor for Youngalla and Serena, and Youngalla hasn't seen a councillor, and it makes sense. You know, why should we have all the councillors here in Mackay and these outlying areas? So they did do a survey. It was very convoluted to actually complete it online. And I know I brought here how to do it on little pieces of paper. There's no criticism at all, but it was a terrible thing to do. Is there anyone who actually succeeded in filling that in online? Anyone here? There you go. There you go. And we knew about it. Did anyone ever see a hard copy? Anyone see a hard copy that you could fill in? One person. One person. Did anyone realise that you could email it in? Not one person. Not one.
They didn't want a result.
They obviously did not want a result in favour of divisional councillors. So this survey was only up for 4 weeks. Now, I've been commenting on their Facebook page, as you can imagine, and they are answering our Worldwide Rally comments. And they said they have online and hard copies, media coverage, social media posts, well, I never saw one, flyers and stakeholder emails. There were 6,700 visits to the consultation web page and only 617 responses to that. Well, that would be because it was so difficult, so very, very difficult to do. There were only 213 hard copy responses. Well, you know, only one person saw it, and 4 email submissions. Out of the 90,000 people that they were trying to reach, they only made 800 hard copies of the survey. They didn't want people to answer this survey. Of the 834 people who did respond, 87% want divisions. 87%. And their thinking is, well, that's not many, so it's not worth counting. We have got some councillors really stepping up. Nathaniel McRae, Ashley Johnson, Alison Jones all spoke up very much on behalf of the people, and having divisional councillors. There were probably someone else on, sorry, councillors, if I've forgotten anyone. Alison Jones was actually amazing. She's been doing a really good job lately. And she said, the current tension in the community stems from the fact that we feel we're unheard, which is true. They don't want to hear us. They do not want to hear us. She said the initial consultation was never meant to be the sole method of engagement. So when it was put out, it was just a preliminary consultation. The Mayor said it would cost $700,000 to do another consultation. Karen, yeah, exactly. Alison Jones said, I think that number might be inflated. And I think she's right. When we get on to Karen May, let's go there. How this woman can say the things she says. Only 830 people chose to respond, and not all of them in favour. So 13% weren't in favour, hello, and 830 chose to respond. We are in the know. We knew it was on, and we couldn't respond. So it wasn't a case of choosing to respond, Karen May. It's the fact that you didn't want a response and you didn't put it out there. And she takes from this that the other 89,000 plus are really happy with what we have. My take on that, I take from this that the other 89,000 plus didn't jolly well know there was a survey. Goodness me. I take from the 87% in favour, this is me. I know she didn't say this is me. I take that from the 87% in favour that it actually scared the Mayor so much that he simply didn't want any further consultation because he would have to go to divisional councillors. And Karen May said things are so tough economically that we don't want to spend money on a consultation. Oh, they can spend millions and millions and millions on a bike track, but we're here today. You should see the rubbish around the Leichhardt tree. It's unbelievable. The filth, the gardens that are overgrown. You know, they're not spending money on keeping this city. It is actually shameful to belong to a city that is so poorly kept. And it is an absolute disgrace. So, yes. Yeah, Mackay used to get the Tidy Towns award regularly. I tell you what, if they actually made a list, we'd be down toward the bottom, I reckon, now. Okay, so when they voted on this, it was a 5-5 split, and the Mayor had the casting vote, which I couldn't really understand because there are only 9 councillors now that George is not there. So I questioned that. So Greg is now in the position where he gets 2 votes. He is voting on behalf of George, which made it 5-5, and he gets the casting vote. And they replied to my comment on Facebook, oh, it's like that across Queensland. Well, That does not, my response to that was that does not make it democratic. You know, how about Mackay set the standard and start to do what is just and right for the people? So he's one of the 10. Okay, so we know that they don't want to hear from the people. They don't want to know that people want divisional councillors. He's happy to stand in and vote on behalf of George, but won't take any responsibility for the people being unheard, because he actually made the comment, there are 10 councillors here, and if the people aren't heard, that's on you. That's what he said to the councillors. Hey, but get this, at the moment he's one of the 10. So it's on him too. Unbelievable. Okay, Halliday Bay was the next issue with the camping park that's going in there. It's actually really interesting because there are 55 guidelines that have to be met. So they get away with saying we'll have the Halliday Park because we've got 55 guidelines that have to be met. Now, I was actually quite shocked when this passed with only 2 councillors not wanting it, until I got some more information. So if the development meets all of the town planning scheme guidelines, the councillors can't do a thing to stop it. All right, so there's 55 guidelines. If the developer meets them and the councillors vote against it, it goes to court and it costs us, the ratepayers, an arm and a leg. So the 3 speakers were amazing, and they brought up, where's the fire report? Well, where is the fire report? It wasn't there. So what I have found out is that a specialist is brought in to do the fire report. The councillors do not even see it. The speaker, who for decades was a volunteer firefighter and has fought the fires in that particular area, he's not important. They bring someone else in to decide. The councillors do not see the fire report. They are told they have to trust the writer. That's it. That's it. Oh my goodness. So they actually don't get to see all of the guidelines at the briefing. They don't see them until the agenda comes out, and there are 55 of them. So the mayor actually said, he got quite, I would use the word angry, and said, why are we having all these questions now? Why weren't they asked at the briefing? Well, you should know, Greg, they weren't asked at the briefing because they don't get the information at the briefing. They get it when the agenda comes out. And it was hundreds of pages long, this, and they've got the agenda. And not only do they have to read it, but they have to dig into it. So it's absolutely horrendous. So the director was asked, who monitors the 55 guidelines? She deflected and didn't answer it. So basically, they're not monitored from what we can gather. They're just not monitored. So the 55 guidelines just go through. One of the guidelines is that people stay no longer than 4 weeks in that caravan park. Who's going to monitor that? The question was asked. No answer. No answer. So, because the people in Halliday Bay, and we've all been there, we know how beautiful and pristine it is, are so worried about people coming in and squatting. And apart from the fact that they're in a fire trap. So, you know what? Again, coercion is not consent. Governments don't rule by force. The council doesn't rule by force. They rule because people comply. And so it's time to stop complying. We are standing together. We have our numbers growing online. They're growing exponentially. So what can I do? Again, said 26 million Australians. We can change our whole nation. What can I do? Said 125,000 people who lived in Mackay. We can change Mackay. Imagine if we had thousands back here at Blue Water Quay. We can change it. We can change it. We're all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle and every piece is missed. We need to make up that whole jigsaw puzzle and the complete picture so we can go forward in freedom for our kids and grandkids. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you.